The man participated in 199 blind dates, but never moved. And in front of a fresh and elegant floral dress hand like soft body skin like cream, a hint of melancholy in the eyes is even more lovable. But behind the good brother but advised him to give up early, because she has rejected a lot of suitors. But the man does not believe in evil. He intentionally baseballed toward the table next to the girl hit. The sudden sound instantly attracted the attention of the girl.
Sorry!
No one has ever dared to be so rude to her, and the original way she is interested in the boy is how the two begin their first date. And so began a love affair that was to last forever. From here on, they soon fall in love with each other. Learning that their sister had fallen in love with a poor boy, the two brothers hoped that Diana would consider it carefully, but Diana told them firmly.
The thing is, I just know this is it.
Listening to Diana's firm tone, the two brothers did not say anything else. Fortunately, Jack did not let anyone down. He took Diana to experience the adventure that had never been. They flew together in an airplane over the magnificent Grand Canyon, drove together in the African Savannah ride, and watched the sun set close together. Their hearts are full of visions of a better future. They were soon married and soon had a love child. Everything was so smooth and cozy. But in the hula hoop when Jack, suddenly a soft leg fell to the ground, thought it was simple anemia or fatigue, but did not expect the night all over the body came unbearable pain. He had to wake up sleeping friends to send him to the hospital Jack in addition to still be able to speak. The whole body is unconscious. The doctor used ice to try to arouse his consciousness, but found that the situation is even more serious.
He's losing it! We have to get him on a respirator!
The next day, Diana came to the hospital with a big belly to check. Thought it was just too tired to rest a few days would be fine. But see Jack wearing a ventilator. The surface looks calm, but the eyes show a million disturbed. Last night still alive and well husband. Today is very sick.
No, darling.
Unable to even respond to a greeting, Diana puts on a show of strength and seeks out the doctor to find out what's wrong. A few words from the doctor make her almost choke up. Jack suffers from 1 in 10 million paralysis. All the nerves below him are necrotic except for the head, which can be twisted briefly. Even normal breathing requires equipment to maintain. Diana asks how long it takes to recover from this condition.
Paralysis is irreversible. A good respiration system will maintain life for a while. We're talking a matter of months.
She took a deep breath, cannot accept everything in front of her, twisted his head to hide his tears. Sudden bad news so that his parents advised Diana to give up. This situation is better to let him early relief. Emaciated Diana did not say anything, just nodded in silence. But Diana's heart had to give in to defeat. She raised huge sums of money to change Jack to a better hospital, soon after the birth of their children. But Jack did not show a smile. He can only drag Diana this way. But now even the ability to commit suicide is not. Every day, only drops of ventilators and walls accompanied by looking at every day to guard the bed of his wife emaciated. Jack for the first time to angrily reprimand Diana.
Why do you keep on coming here?
I don't really know.
No use to you. You really must leave me here to rot now.
I love you.
Love makes a weak woman become strong. In front of the healthy growth of the son and his handsome wife, Jack has confidence in life. Diana in order to personally take care of her husband, and out of the huge sums of money to buy a huge farm, and asked the nurses to learn professional nursing knowledge. Diana's husband's meticulous. Hospital nurses are also very touched. Jack was finally discharged from the hospital. Looking at the blue sky, empty, he never felt that the sky is so beautiful, and in his body and love his wife and friends. This moment Jack feel incredibly happy. Yes, he is not lucky enough, but at the same time lucky enough. With the cold hospital is different. Home is full of friends to help, and when you see a caring face, Jack's state of mind finally had a change.
Yes, I think I am.
The success of the diversion caused everyone to let out a sigh of relief, and Jack began to look squarely at his son for the first time, who was so boyishly adorable.
Hello, Jonathan.
Tears overflowed in his eyes as he looked at his wife and son in front of him. And what reason did he have to give up on life at this moment? At night, Diana buried her head in Jack's shoulder. The hissing sound of the ventilator was still in her ears, but no longer as harsh as before. However, the next day, the dog is playing with his son, but did not expect the dog suddenly drilled into the bottom of the bed, accidentally touched off the ventilator plug. Jack rushed to call out to Diana, but a little voice cannot be sent out. And now do not want to die. Want to see his son grow up to marry and have children. I do not know how long it took Diana finally found anomalies. She rushed to plug in, but Jack had not breathed. She desperately called out Jack's name, silently praying for a miracle. Fortunately, Jack slowed down. Diana finally breathed a sigh of relief. She put a bell next to Jack's pillow, so that if Jack needed it, he could hit his head against the bell to make a sound. Under Diana's more careful care, Jack's condition became better and better, and he was able to speak normally. They celebrated together in their home, surrounded by laughter. This day, through the doorway to see their son dragging the stroller to play, an idea to change his fate came to mind. Jack told a friend about the idea, and with his friend working around the clock on it, the world's first wheelchair with a ventilator was born. With the help of his family and friends, it was the first time Jack had tasted fresh air outside since he got sick. Seeing the outside world as if he had been reborn, he was more hopeful about life again. When his wife pushed him to visit his fellow patients, all those present could not believe the scene in front of their eyes, and the patient's hope for life was also aroused. Time has passed unnoticed, and Jack has now spent 5 years in peace, having been sentenced by the disease to only a few months. Until this day, the son's words broke the peaceful life. The son turned out Diana dusty 5 years of photo albums, which recorded their best memories. Diana also cannot help but tell her son once a little bit.
Lucky.
Yes, we were.
Can we go to Africa one day, Daddy?
A curious word of yearning from her son instantly leaves Jack speechless, and Diana rushes forward to comfort Jack, saying sorry words to each other. The fall of one party tormented not only the two of them, but also the innocent child. So in order for their son to have a good childhood, they chose to take another risk. Jack asked his friend to convert the passenger side of the wheelchair seat. The mother drove the car, Jack sat, the son accompanied, and the family embarked on a road trip. Looking out the window at the familiar scenery, Jack's heart is very excited, as if remembering the sweet time with Diana here. Since then they traveled to every corner of the world, immersed in the fun of nature, their optimistic and positive attitude towards life. In the invisible infected more people. But the reality is always against their wishes, because the road is rough. The ventilator in the violent bumps actually failed. Luckily, they had a manual ventilator and could wait for help at the same place. Passers-by, after learning about Jack's encounter, all gathered around and cheered him up, and they didn't leave even at night. Singing and dancing together around the campfire. The warmth of the human heart healed Jack's soul once again, and he felt more and more how wonderful it was to be alive. After numerous ups and downs, Jack and Diana felt confident about the future, and at the same time, they hoped that more people could come out of the ward just like him. With the assistance of a friend, they found the factory manager who made the wheelchair and upgraded and improved it. With the investment of a rich businessman, more and more patients with the same illness are getting out of the cold ward. When everything seems to be going smoothly, Jack's accident occurs. Years of wearing a respirator have caused his lungs to be extremely fragile, and the slightest graze can cause them to hemorrhage, thus drowning in his own blood. Obviously, Jack's time is really running out. This terrible news let Diana once again into despair. The son put down the hands of a cup of tea, tenderly took his mother into his arms. He knew that at this time his mother needed a hug. Looking at the robust son in front of him, Jack also made a major decision.
I'm going to let myself go.
And what about me?
You're going to be free at last.
No. No. God, you're a stupid, stupid man. What do you think I've been doing all these years? Your life is my life.
Over 20 years of uncomplaining and unrelenting love, Jack knew that his wife had taken on so much and that his leaving would be hard to accept, but it would be a lot easier for her. Diana vented for a while and ran back. Knowing how painful it was to be able to make this decision, she honored Jack's choice, and Diana invited all of her friends and family to the last party of her husband's life. Jack, to the presence of every friend, sincere thanks. In front of him, friends on the surface are talking and laughing, but turn around cannot help but weep. They know that this is Jack's farewell party. The night before he left, Jack's condition worsened again. In order not to have regrets, he called off his wife, who had been busy for more than 20 years.
Darling, that's enough. I expect you know this, just in case.
The next day, Diana called the doctor who performed the euthanasia, and Jack called his son to his bedside to say his final goodbyes. He felt extremely guilty about his son, but his son never blamed him, and then Diana sat down and smiled, saying that she hadn't prepared a farewell speech for him. Jack laughed heartily, wishing Diana would always have a smile on her face more than tears.
You've given me a wonderful life.
I
After a deep kiss, Jack felt as if he recalled what had been, and Diana's deep touch. From the beauty of their first meeting, to the sweetness of their acquaintance and love, to the affection of his son for him, he departed peacefully in contentment. And Diana's memory went back to that wonderful evening, a moment when the two of them had not made a mountainous vow, but the two hearts were bound tightly together.